Yeah. I think my bits, bytes, megas, gigas, teras, and petas, and exas are good enough to start walking.
Okay.
All Van's the man with the plan. Star Platinum is Jotaro Stan. Excuse me, is this where we can find Professor Callahan? We're here to speak with him. Right, yes, may I see your card, sir? Of course. Van handed over his certification card. C rank, I'm sorry, but I can't let you in without the proper security clearance. If you don't mind me asking, what business do you have with him to begin with? Glad you asked. We're here on behalf of the Principality of El-Save. We figured there was an appointment for us, but we just now found out that he didn't set anything up. Sorry for the inconvenience. We wanted to inquire about Professor Callahan's new research. It's caught our investors' interest. His findings have seismic implications. Even the Zypher revolution will be small potatoes compared to this. So we looked into meeting with him and collaborating on his research. Only learned that Marduk was interested in the same thing, so we've got ourselves a three-way partnership here. I am here on the Marduk company's behalf. I'm a concierge in their employ. So you're meeting with him to discuss a grant, is that right? I'm a bit surprised to hear both Elsame and Marduk are collaborating on this. But, well, stranger things have happened, I guess. I apologize for the inconvenience. That said, who are these children with you? Surely they're not employees. Pardon. I'm not a kid, I'm just short. They're associates of an Elsame VIP. Pardon them. They're here on Elsame's behalf as well, so they were looking to sit in on our meeting. This is a little awkward, though. We came all the way to Elsame just to get turned away at the door on a technicality. It flickered.
Oh, it did?
It did, and it worried me.
Oh.
I'm not sure what to tell them when we get back home. I really am sorry. There's clearly been some kind of mix-up here. Your arrangement might have been lost in the shuffle with all the Aramis students visiting. You must have been issued the same rank card as them by mistake. I'll go clear this up with Professor Callahan. 1 minute, please. Of course, we'll be waiting. You sure you're okay with him calling your bluff? Of course. Who's he to turn down grant money? That ain't what we're really here for, but he just has to take the bait. Thank you for your patience. The professor would like to meet with you at once. Go right in. Thank you very much. Got him.
Oh.
I would have just called the Prince of Elsame. Yo! Shareed. Yo! Let them in. Thanks. Click. Oh, at once, sir. I can't believe you managed to deceive your way past someone again. Hey, nothing I said was a lie. Not my fault if someone else takes what I said the wrong way.
Blah, blah, blah.
Bet you tell yourself that every single time, huh? Yeah, you must be a real pro at this. I mean, it's not something to be proud of, as your sudden embarrassment suggests. I wish you would at least stop and think about the bad influence you might be having on Perry.
Nah.
So you're trying to blame all of this on me, are you?
Well...
Not at all. I'm in no way trying to suggest your latest research is the cause. If anything, the approach you're taking with your latest project rather fascinates me.
Does it now?
That being said, work on my own project has reached a critical juncture. I cannot afford any issues with net traffic at this time.
That certainly sounds like blame to me, Cronkite.
Well, get on my level and then we'll talk.
You may be one of Professor Hamilton's students, but that doesn't give you the right to...
So sorry for the delay. Oh. Who the devil are you? This is a restricted area, you know. Not to worry, we have permission to be here. Can either of you direct us to Professor David Callahan's office? Ah, so you're the ones I just heard about. We're finished here, Cronkite. Now, if you would all follow me. Yang, or Professors Cronkite and Callahan. Psst, Cronkite. Yeah? You're the one on the camera. Huh? Funny running into you guys here. Whoops. We could say the same thing. Mr. Arkwright, do you have business here? Quarter pounder. What are you doing here, salad dressing? And who are these people with you? They are students here on an educational visitation from the capital. I've been assisting them during their stay. Professor Cronkite was gracious enough to extend us an invitation to visit him when we happened to see each other in town. So we asked Mr. Salad Dressing if he could lead the way. I do not believe I invited anyone but you, nor did I imply we should meet quite this soon. But I suppose chasing you away here would be more work than just humoring you. Very well, follow me. Really? It would be nothing short of incredible to see your work up close, Professor Cronkite. I can't show you anything I'm working on. You know, top secret military type stuff. Hush hush, very much, yes. I'm getting big money grant money, so you gotta humor a bunch of toddlers. Well, we'll get out of your hair now. I know I'm funny. I see you're very busy, but it would be a pleasure to speak more on another occasion, Professor Callahan. Oh, I suppose that can be arranged. Why do you always wink at me, Ren? Must be nice to have free time to spend on such frivolous nonsense as educational visitations. Well, come with me. I want to make this brief and I want to make this lucrative. Of course, Professor.
Wait.
What?
Leave us alone, Quarter Pounder.
I'd like to listen in on this conversation too, if you don't mind.
I do. I do mind.
As their guide, I suspect it has everything to do with me.
Except it doesn't. Van's just looking away.
Take a 10-minute break. Do not return late.
Yes, Professor. Excuse us. Alright, so now is when we throw the hands. Start just beating the shit out of him. Smash his face into the servers.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's him. Just fucking get it done. Street justice. Prison justice. The best kind of justice. Professor David Calhoun.
As you know, my name is David Callahan. I believe you're here to talk about Elsyme and Marduk investing in my research.
Yes. You're an asshole and they don't want to.
That makes for a very interesting combination, if you don't mind me saying. What exactly led to this?
Top secret hush-hush business. Is that what you were told? There seems to have been a misunderstanding then. We are currently working for Elsyme, and we do have a Marduk employee with us, but that's all. What? We're currently in the middle of an investigation, you see, and a lead happened to bring us here. Wanted to follow up on a rumor that some extreme abuse of power has been taking place in the laboratory here. Heh, that's the face of a guy who's got something to tell. Damn, Van. Who asked you to investigate this? Couldn't tell you. Didn't leave their name, but they did tell us about what's been happening. We've heard about all the ridiculous workloads and insane hours they and their colleagues have been forced to endure. About how they're never allowed any rest, are woefully underpaid, and how they receive vicious, constant verbal abuse from their superior. Even to the point that someone collapsed from overwork and has been driven to the brink of suicide. That's just... Well, we have all the testimony and evidence we need to act if that's what it comes to. But we thought it better to come and hear your thoughts first. Excuse me? It's not too late to turn things around. Agnes, shut up! That is literally us accusing him. So many people we spoke with were quick to say that you weren't always like this. Nobody said that! They mentioned how they almost had trouble believing just what you'd become. We can see just how afraid people are of you now, and how they dislike what you've become. But at the same time, we can see how deeply they respect you too. We're not heroes of justice like the cops or the guild. We're just finding some common ground and putting things to right. As long as you're willing to work with us, we can... That is enough! Don't talk to me about respect and then immediately resort to blackmail. I cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me? How could you say that? You know, we've got evidence of what you're doing, right? Sure you want to pick this fight? Do what you will with your evidence. All I have to do is cover it up. How? No one's going to believe some lowly assistant's over an esteemed professor. Dude, we're recording this too, motherfucker.
For real, what?
Professor, I am 2 mere steps away from completing my research. And they picked now to sabotage my efforts. Very well. Then damn the human cost. I'll start working them to the bone to make up for their...
Just listen to yourself, Professor. What has gotten into you? You used to be so kind and supportive. Professor Hamilton held you in such high regard. Even though I was one of her students, you would still take the time to look after me. I just can't understand why all you do lately is spit in the face of her achievements.
Damn her achievements. Those are supposed to be my achievements. Quarter pounder. I suspected as much.
Sorry. That's a private matter between us. But please, at least stop and think about how you're treating the people who work under you.
Okay. Thinking.
Don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck. Work them harder.
They took their positions because they dreamed of being like you. Don't belittle them or their work.
I wouldn't have to belittle their work if their work wasn't shit.
For real, for real. Salad dressing.
Don't tell me what I can and can't do, you third-rate apprentice.
Fucking deserved. You got that on video too. Quarter pounder! What do you think you're doing? That was like the most ginger slash. Like,
Yeah.
got him. Listen, asshole. Aaron, we don't
You're
fight.
talking to the famous David Callahan.
We're talking to fucking CEO steps in. They're talking to the now unemployed David Callahan. Get out.
The
For real, for real.
preeminent scholar of engineering science and military technology, who has long upheld the very foundation of this nation's national defense.
Then why has Arabonia been kicking your ass?
I've had enough of youngsters like Cronkite and Esmeralda acting like they're above me after all I've achieved.
Couldn't beat Hamilton.
My latest research will propel Calvert to even greater heights, change the power balance of the entire continent.
Arabonia will still kick your ass.
Why can no one understand just how much of a privilege it is to help with that?
You're a bitch.
Professor!
Well, you're free to have whatever lofty goals you want. But I think we've had our 10 minutes, don't you? Oh. We came here to explain the situation and offer a solution we thought would benefit everyone. You're welcome to try and cover up all the evidence and testimonies we've gathered, but I promise you, it ain't gonna be easy. If you're as close to this revolution as you claim to be, then I'd give another thinking through if I were you. I'm done wasting time with you. I will be raising the issue of your illegal trespassing and appalling brazenness with Mr. Townsend. I admit that I may have been a little too harsh, but as long as you intend to cling to Professor Hamilton instead of aiming for something more, I have no interest in you. Unless you now see the benefits of developing your talents under me after all, I would wager that would be a far better use of your time than waiting like a little girl for an old woman who's long gone. Excuse me.
Quarter pounder.
Pardon us. We're hungry. We need that burger. I guess we didn't quite slaughter the pig. Pig's still running. Also, I think that just confirmed that Quarter Pounder is in fact female.
Like a little girl.
There you are.
Like a little girl. I knew I'd find you, yeah.
So this is what it looks like inside, huh?
It's so cool seeing the observatory. Is that the telescope?
How the fuck did we get clearance to come in here?
That's right. Professor Hamilton had it specially made.
For me, how was her favorite? I'm sorry you had to witness that earlier, but I'm impressed you knew where to find me. Just had a feeling. We're happy to forget what we saw as long as you forget about us forcing our way into the research building. Van, behave. You can go ahead and have a seat over there. I'll go make us some tea. Good girl. I am what I am. I like tea. There aren't usually any astronomy professors here? Not at the moment. I'm the only one who comes here every day right now. But there was a time when quite a few researchers and students who all adored Professor Hamilton would come. Even Professor Callahan would from time to time. Oh. He never used to be like he is now. He's always seen Professor Hamilton as a rival, sure. But it used to be the friendly kind of rivalry that was beneficial to both sides. He taught me so much, too. He really must have changed then. Yeah. From that to the uptight abusive asshole we saw earlier is some kind of fall. Professor Hamilton left the Republic 2 years ago, if I recall. And you're one of her students. That's right, I owe more to her than I can ever hope to repay. I've been looking after the observatory and her house since she left the country. Though I think it's debatable whether I'm doing a good job of it. The CEO of Vern, Mr. Townsend, is also one of the directors on the Institute's board. And he told me that he's considering shutting this place down because so few people are using it. Oh no. So that's why you've been doing all kinds of miscellaneous tasks to score points with him? That's awful. I really am sorry about earlier, though I ended up interfering in your investigation by jumping in, didn't I? No, Agnes here was the one who jumped in and fucking fucked everything up.
Yep.
If I hadn't said anything, then Agnes would have kept running her mouth, and so would Fairy, and fucking... Don't sweat it. We ended up getting some useful info out of that whole outburst. And I got to take a sweet-ass video of you getting the shit slapped out of you. Win-win. My guess is you've noticed this by now, too. But his piss-poor attitude isn't the only bad thing going on with him. You really think so? I have the same feeling. It would explain why someone that's so respected has stooped to such irrational behavior. Feels like the question is, what is he trying to do that he's willing to go so far off the deep end for it? The computer hardware in his laboratory was state-of-the-art. I suspect he's using it to perform vast calculations, the kind that would be equally difficult to properly manage. I agree. I've never seen a simulation of this extent before, and it seemed even that wasn't getting the results he wanted. He couldn't be. No, but that would... I see now. Well, we better keep an eye on that guy for a while. We ain't in Basel for that long, but we're going to be here the next couple of days at least. Seems like we can afford to scratch each other's backs a bit. Yeah, whether that CEO wants us to or not. Alright, I do have my doubts about you, but I believe that Agnes is worthy of my trust. So if anything comes up, I'll be sure to let you know. To keep what the professor left behind safe, if nothing else. Nothing comes from not being honest with yourself, you know. We'll be counting on you, Quarter Pounder. Sure seems like he's being honest with himself to me. Not trusting you is the right call. Oh, you are very much in the same boat with how boorish you are. Excuse me? You trying to pick a fight, kiddo? That's only proving my point, you know. Are you interested in the telescope? I was wondering what it's like, that's all. It's only just past 5 o'clock, so we won't be able to get a great view of the stars quite yet. But come with me. You might still be able to get a good view of the great Shadar Triangle. Really? Yay! I ship it.
You ship it. For your Quarter Pounder?
Yeah. He's 15, she's 13. They're not too far apart.
Yeah.
Like, in 1 year, he would be a junior in high school. She'd be a freshman in high school. It's not that bad. Keep going.
Nowhere. I guess.
Yeah, you're staying with the bugaboo. Of course, those two kiddies in the group would hit it off. You're also still a damn kid from my perspective. Oh, shut up, Granddad. By the way, Agnes. Was it just me, or did you seem surprised by something when that professor was shouting up a storm? It wasn't just you. Maybe one of my sisters would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them the golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me? Baby light up. Oh. So picked up then of all times to shine? It's not doing it now, though. Do you think it could be just a coincidence? You gotta wonder. Not like it'd be the first time it's shown at an odd time, like when we first ran into Grimcat.
Whoa! What's this room for?
What? Why are you here?
Odette? What brings you all here?
Ren does.
Found you! We've been looking for all of you.
Why?
We couldn't find you anywhere in the main building, so we wondered if you might be here.
Okay, but my curfew is 6:30 p.m. It's just slightly after 5.
Sorry for putting you guys out.
Well, not all of us are here for you.
Yeah, just the ladies.
So this is their giant telescope.
Damn.
I've seen one in the Imperial Museum too.
I just do not like
it's
Albert.
so cool.
I'm just gonna fucking shit all over Albert.
And Quarter
Can we
Pounder.
take a look through it?
I like Quarter Pounders
Even-
though.
I
At
was
least. Like it could be worse. So
It's
cute.
nice seeing this place this lively again. It's been so long.
You want the heat? There's the heat.
It's so much.
I know.
How
That's
do you
so...
have so much?
I gotta grill the meat. That was a good one.
Stupid.
We're sharing glances.
Bye, Quarter Pounder.
Bye. Well, we'll be going back to our hotel now. Sure thing. Try not to stay up too late just because no one's keeping an eye on you. That telescope was amazing, though, wasn't it? I just wish we could have had another look through it before we left. How about you come and walk around with us some on the last day, Fairy? We'd love to have you. Really? Your work sounds amazing, so I'd like that a lot. I'll just leave playtime to the kids then. I'm more into the marketplace created for adults. Hell, you want to join in on the fun Four Eyes? I would never want to go to such a place. That sounds like it'd be kind of fun in its own way. Sign me
Dad will
up.
go.
It was nice to finally meet the famous Rosette, too. Maybe we could talk some more to one another. Oh, yes, I would like that very much indeed. Yay, then it's happening. Did you notice? Yeah, you managed to learn anything on your end? I'm afraid not. We heard something interesting from that genius professor, but that's about it. I'm not going to have much free time here, however, so I'm going to have to leave it to that nose of yours this time. Dumping all the work on me, huh? Great. Ah, here's the tram. Then we bid you all farewell. We're on our way to our hotel, which is better than yours. What? What?
I don't know.
Then I should be able to meet you tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock. I know it's a little early for good nights, but I hope you all have one regardless. Same to you. See you tomorrow. Sleep tight. What is going on up there that's so interesting?
Nothing. Just listen to music.
So, what's eating away at you, phony maid?
Huh?
Is something up? Can't hide a thing from him.
I should have realized I wouldn't be able to keep my concerns a secret. To tell you the truth, I'm getting a peculiar sense of deja vu from what's happening here in Basel.
Well, that ain't good. Deja vu? Your main job is being a concierge, but you also handle crisis management all over the country, right? So does this orbital net and distribution network issue make you think of more the Burl 6 years ago or Crossbell 4 years ago?
You're proving perceptive and knowledgeable beyond belief.
Yeah, I've been around. I'm sure I've heard both those things before, but yeah, I think Sal's mentioned them at some point too. The former was that all the orbital power was cut off by the appearance of an ancient floating city. That wasn't great. The latter was when the orbital network was used to perform a man-made miracle. I've never witnessed them firsthand, but there's a lot of gaps in what I know. Both are caused by things you wouldn't think could exist. I think you'd made both events up if I didn't know better. I know what happened a year and a half ago in Crossbell, and that's just as batshit crazy on paper. Oh, when the whole continent was hacked or whatever the word is?
I'm afraid I can't answer most of your questions because they would contain classified information.
So?
However, I believe this may end with a crisis different from the ones that Mr. Arkwright mentioned.
Huh? Well, Miss Perfect's Genesis started glowing again. There's bound to be something. No way this ends without giving us a headache. Yeah, we're gonna need to be ready for trouble. You gotta head out somewhere now, right? I'll come with you if you want.
Again, you are perceptive beyond belief.
We might have only met in person recently, but I've known you for a real long time now. Oh, just like us. The first time we met in person, you were head over gaga for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cute. You couldn't keep your anything straight.
You couldn't keep anything straight. I had to help you. You're
get-
welcome.
You couldn't keep anything. Hey. I said your hand, not yourself. I will go gorilla on you.
No.
I'll go zombie Harambe on you, back from the dead.
Get out of here. I am so slow. That was faster in my brain.
Whenever you stumble on a major problem, Bruin, you gotta report to HQ, right?
What is happening here certainly falls under Code E of our regulations. But I see no harm in having someone with me during my report. We could also patrol the area at the same time. Does that sound all right?
That sounds pretty good. Oh no! Okay.
Good budget thing.
Well then, alright, let's get going. Wait! Not just you two here, you know, don't even think about leaving us out. I'm gonna take one of you, but the others are gonna have to stay behind. Someone need to be available if I answer that boy we met decide to call. Mm-hmm. Come on, who are you taking? We're taking Aaron this time.
Okay. I mean, you said he earned a spot on the team, so.
What? Oh. Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. Interesting.
I'll take that.
Here you go, Aaron. Have a cipher cover.
We take that.
There you go, Dingo.
Thanks,
Have a watch.
man.
You gotta watch.
Okay.
Let's see what we've got.
QA testing again. I finished the latest version of my AR mystery game, and I'd love for you to test it out. If you solve all the puzzles, I'll give you your thoughts on the experience. I'd be happy to reward you. Artisanal District.
Hey.
Right.
Oh. Whoa. Mm.
Objective set.
Huh. Percy.
Yeah.
So this leads down to a mine, does it? That would make an excellent backdrop for a game, but nah, it's probably too dangerous down there. Hey there, Arkwright Solutions, you had a request for us? Well, I didn't expect you to help me out again, thank you. Figured we'd at least hear you out. What's got you all the way down in Basel anyhow? Especially all the way out here in the dark. You ain't up to something shady, are you? No, I'm just scouting locations for my new game. It has a mystery theme, so it only makes sense for it to be dark and secretive. Let's get down to business then, if that's alright with you. I worked with a really bright friend of mine on this concept, so if I can iron out the kinks, it'll be sure to be a hit. You'll solve a series of puzzles while using these special gimmicks that fit Basil's hand and glove.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what kind of gimmicks are we talking? Well, it would spoil the fun if I just told you. Here, have this leaflet. Let's see here. Roll attack on loose and Basel. HQ will track the target's movements and relay them to you ASAP. Decode the messages and apprehend the hacker. Secret agents, huh? Alright, I'll bite. Puzzle aspect of the game. Exactly, sounds fun, right? I think we really knocked it out of the park with this one. Not sure.
We played a game.
Sure, we got our other work taken care of anyhow. Why not? I can do that. I see, I didn't realize we weren't the only testers at the moment. Yeah, I'm sending applications all over the place. My other testers started just a few minutes ago. I've got a special reward whoever beats the game first, so good luck. Yeah, the hunt is on now, isn't it? Well, good luck. I'll be watching from the sidelines to make sure everything's running smoothly. There he goes. So now what? We don't even have our first message yet. This is true. He did say that HQ would send us messages, but how? HQ to Spriggan. We found traces of the hacker in the artisanal district. Investigate the Sooted Triad. Whoa, I don't recognize this address at all. I think it really is him. First riddle should be easy to solve. I imagine it's like a warm-up. Makes sense. Let's get cracking then. The Sooted Triad.
Yeah.
this.
Of the attendant.
Well, if there ever a set of triad, this would be it. Not the easiest first rail in the world, there are chimneys everywhere around here. Indeed, it does make a lot of sense for a district in this industrious. And it looks like we're not the first to make it this far either. I walked around this damn place for ages and it was right here this whole time. Oh, it looks like it threw the other tester for a loop. There's the next set of instructions. It's almost like he's watching us. Normally I would assume the same, but I imagine at least one of us would have noticed them if they were tracking us by hand. I think we're receiving these messages automatically based on our Zypher location data. That might be giving him too much credit. No offense to him. No, I think this is the work of his helper. Must be a network expert. Got a lot to think about when this is done, but that can wait. Let's look at this next message chat real quick. HQ Spriggan, the hacker's long gone from this area, unfortunately. We've picked up another trail elsewhere in the artisanal district, though. Investigate the bat's roost. Yeah, go fig. Of course there's more to it than that. Talk about cryptic. The hell's a bat? All caps. Ordinarily, I would assume the mammal. But given how it's written, I'd imagine it's alluding to something else. And at any rate, we didn't encounter any bats in the mine, if memory serves. Those letters do ring a bell. Where have I seen them before? Bah, I don't know. Some place I call, I'll come back to, or they're normally out and about. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that fits that description. This one sounds more specific.
City of Basel. When boarding the Aerotram, please have your...
Well, this is the Aerotram station, and I think we've struck gold here. Right, that does make sense. That is an acronym for Basel Aerotram. Alright, yeah, makes sense that this is the roost. They all stop here. And boom, there's the next message.
Hey.
HQ Spriggan, the hackers made their way toward Newtown. Board the tram and pursue them. Straightforward enough, this one. Yeah, let's hop on. Oh, I see a familiar face took the tram just before we did. Let's see, yeah. Well, if it ain't the airman's kid we bumped into earlier. He's been a step ahead the whole way from the looks of it. Well, I'm not about to let some snot-nosed front like him out with me. Let's get moving. Man, I remember when I was all held up about beating people to the punch like that. Youth, huh? I'd think of a zing, but you make fun of yourself well enough as is. Looks like they've already made their move. Looks like it. So now what? HQ to Spriggan, we found new traces of the hacker. Disregard the kitty for now. Your target is Z-cat number 1. Disregard the... Oh, that's what it is. Might help to write that out on paper. This one would have been too much for the small fry's brain. How cruel. I got a pretty good idea where the objective is. I can see it on that sign over there. Let's head on over and take a look. A cat, huh? But what do cats have to do with the orbital net? Oh, her. Ah.
When boarding the Aerotram...
So convenient nowadays.
Question is, how the fuck does Percy know about her? And here we are. Z-cat number 1 minus the cat. A Z1 racer. So you just cut the cat, huh? Almost too easy. Our next message should be arriving shortly. Yep, stay sharp, gang. Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's see here. Oh, yo, you in the game too? Yeah, guess so. Didn't know there were other people doing this. Excuse Spriggan, the hacker got away. But their tracks are fresh. They should still be nearby. Head for the coordinate marker. Well, what the hell is this? Doesn't make a lick of sense. But I really don't want to lose to these guys. Gotta think this one over. Well, I'm heading out. Catch you later. Have fun. Best of luck out there. Puzzling time. Let's start with the easiest stuff first. I suspect that we need to fill in the square marks with letters. Once we complete the sequence, the phrase will come together. Yeah, and once we have the full phrase, the rest is a cakewalk from there. Let's follow the code and see what we find. Could follow the code, or it could just go right to where the fucking green marker is. Yeah, so in the Sky games, and some of the Crossbell games, and some of the Cold Steel games, when Phantom Piece Blue Blonde was robbing shit,
Yeah.
he gave you a clue, and you actually had to find it. There were no markers on the map. You just had to you just had to know.
Just had to know. Dang. I wasn't gonna know.
So, the first floor is Vern's Arms, second is Vern's Store, and the building itself is Vern Plaza. Vern Arms, or VA, that lines up with the code. It's not too hard if you know your way around. We made good time on this puzzle from the looks of it. Oh, would you look at that? Another message. P.S. From the engineer, a pair of ZCF goggles will spell your way.
Oh.
ZCF goggles can be found at the Vern Store, if memory serves. We heard about them earlier, didn't we? Yes, ZCF is the Liberal Kingdom's principal engineering company. They were notable for building the first orbital airships. Now we got Liberalian goods in the picture. That really makes me think it's her. Anyhow, let's get those goggles.
Do you know what you want?
Oh, maybe you just talked to him like
I
that
hope
one
to
person?
see you again.
Well, the thing is, DCF goggles are an actual accessory.
Oh.
Hey, a quick question. You guys stock ZCF goggles? We sure do. Here's a pair for you. They will spell your way, the riddle said. Is there writing on them? I don't see anything on the frame. Oh, so the lens, perhaps? Bingo, check this shit. Await the aerotram. The bench will beckon. Guess we just gotta follow the breadcrumbs now. The aerotram is just up the stairs. Let us make haste. Oh. VA. VA. They don't mean Vern Arms, do they? What else could it be? Urgh, I hate this puzzle shit. I don't get these riddles at all. Oh, looks like we're a step ahead this time. Let's hurry. Can't let this kid show us up. Roger, Roger. Hey, girl. Well, if it ain't the student council prez, figured you'd had a hand in this.
You caught me. Good evening, Spriggan.
So little Miss Violet was behind it all, huh? Feels oddly appropriate. I'm flattered to hear that from Longport's own little prodigy. So how'd you get roped into all this? Well, I happen to know the game master through the net, you see. He'd been putting out all these fascinating riddles online. I figured I might as well reach out to him. We got in touch and eventually came up with the idea of this game. And what better setting for a cyber-themed story than Basel? I even got to try out this new mail API that I've been tinkering with. I learned quite a lot about this little exercise. Do you just know everyone ever? Jeez. I did learn about your hacking exploits as Kitty through MK's database. But I didn't realize your talents spanned far more than just security. Thank you. You have much to learn, of course. Took him long enough. Must have fell behind somewhere. I was wondering why you were here. This was just an excuse to work with that Percy guy, wasn't it? This is all just stupid. The student council president broke our own curfew for this shit? Oh, don't single me out, you meanie. I just so happened to hear from someone about a bored-looking Arabic student wandering around the city past curfew. Imagine my shock upon learning it was none other than you. So, James, did you have fun being a naughty little boy? Barely felt a thing. All that effort for a dud of a game. Oh, could have sworn I heard you racking your brain a bit on some of those riddles there. Okay, fine. They did make me think a little, kinda. That's excellent news. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear it. Wait, so did you really make that auto-send API thing for the emails? Like you made that from scratch? How the hell are you even real? No wonder Ronald and I don't measure up.
Give me a minute, would you?
Well, fine. I admit it. You're pretty damn good. Oh, thanks, but flattery will get you nowhere, mister. Oh, and would you mind keeping tonight our little secret? I'm not sure what I'd say if, as you mentioned, everyone found out I was breaking my own rules. Sure, just as long as you keep me a secret, too. I'm not privy to the specifics here, but it looks like they worked things out. Yeah, just kids being kids. Ronald, eh? So he's the other brain cell in James's group. At least things have settled down now. Percy shortly arrived on the scene, and the participants gave him their impressions of the game. Well, good work, everyone, and thank you for the rave reviews. I owe a special shout out to Ren. Without her, none of this would have been possible. Oh, think nothing of it. Thank you for having me. If you ever get the idea for some other game, do let me know. Haha, you got it. Thanks a bunch. Man, I never thought my online friend would be a high schooler. You're really something special. I mean, how the heck did you learn so much about the Orbital Net at your age? I feel like you're going to leave me behind if I'm not careful. I got to branch out and level up my programming skills. Oh, she's already leagues ahead of you, dude. Best of luck with that, pal. Gotta say, this was all pretty fun, so I'd be down to try whatever you come up with next. Thank you. I still have a lot of kinks to iron out, for sure, but I might be able to go public soon. It's almost ready for average Joes and Janes, I think. Now, here's a little prize for you guys since you got here first and all. Again, thank you so much for participating. Look forward to the next game. With the game wrapped up, Percy excused himself to mull over his feedback. And Ren and James snuck back into the hotel for that night.
That's a wrap.
Your deposit confirmed.
Fun.
What's next? Objective set. Banner launched.
Nope, wrong button. This button.
Off we go.
That'd be my car. Drive to y'all's canyon. All's you. Will this area do the trick?
Yes, it should be perfect.
Oh. What's that? Oh.
Parabolic shards expanded, initiating satellite communications.
Is that a what?
Satellite communications.
Is that a who?
Satellite.
My foot itches. The back of my heel. A little lower. Yeah. Oh, there's the signal. Again? Some of our research was supposedly used in making it, too. What does it feel? That wasn't what I thought it was it? A low-altitude communication satellite flying 900 cells off the ground under the Sea of Stars. One of the many cutting-edge orbits you guys are operating in secret, huh?
Indeed. Vern aided in its development, and the president of Calvert has given its use his tacit approval. As long as we continue reporting data on its usage, admittedly.
Sounds like him, all right. So this is how you report to HQ without the risk of anyone listening in?
That's correct. I don't believe communicating using Basel's orbital network to be safe at this point in time. As a Code E matter, the main AI in our headquarters will begin analysis and threat level determination as soon as it has received the proper
What?
data.
There was something on your foot.
Probably just fuzz from my sock. Must make things easy having a computer do everything for you.
Something about that just doesn't sit right with me.
There's two sides to every coin, as the saying goes. Marduk ain't the only one whose tech level is off the charts. Hell, it's not even tech. It goes for martial arts, magic, and the like, too. The Genesis and the Armada aren't much different. But whether something's above board or not, it all comes down to how the people choose to grapple with it. You should try and keep that in mind.
Sure. Loud and clear, Professor Arkwright. I was forced to grapple with that damn tyrant. I know what I'm doing on that front.
Yeah, I suppose you do. You don't mind me telling the other two all that's happened here, by the way?
By all means. Whether it's permitted under our company rules is a gray area. But that is the Arkwright Solutions way, isn't it?
You betcha. Look at that. Seems I can't stop rubbing off on people.
So I've noticed.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for bothering you so late. I thought you would be in for the night by now.
Oh, it's you. Wait. You may have seen the satellite from the observatory, yes. I was just calling to ask for your help with something. So over at the Institute not too long ago, I have no idea what you're talking about. What satellite? We had a power outage, and we were wondering if you could help us get it back online. What do you mean, what satellite? Got it. We're meeting at the main gate, right? We'll be there in 20. We should grab small fry on the way there.
Oh. Watched. Da, da, da.
The preparations are coming along nicely. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be voluptuous.
Much as I wish we didn't have to leave most of the execution to that filthy worm.
He is an overseer much like myself. I am sure he will play his role perfectly. Just take care not to let the window of opportunity pass you by.
You're not getting any younger, you know.
Who do you think you're talking to, puppeteer? As if I would fail.
Aaron's not your tyrant. You lost the Genesis. I beat your ass.
This battlefield
Stop that.
will soon be an essential part of the preparations for our endgame. I will be looking forward to seeing what you can do as well, Golden One.
I shall do whatever my contract asks of me. Farewell for now.
So your contract asked you to be a stripper in Tharbad? That's some contract. Pretty sure there's some fucking protections against stuff like that. I hope we can bring on Yes, because Fairy has nothing equipped now because...
Here you are. I'm glad you all came.
Yep, hey there. Wait a sec, haven't we met this chick? That's right, earlier today.
Oh, I remember you too.
I wasn't aware that you had already met.
This is Professor Titsenface.
This is Associate Professor Esmeralda, another one of Professor Hamilton's students.
That's me! My full name is Esmeralda Archette. What a surprise! So you are the problem solvers I've heard so much about. And one of you is just too adorable!
Yeah, I get that a lot. Van, she meant me. Ah!
Please, Essie, this isn't the time for that. I did tell her to go home, but she insisted on staying to help us.
Why must you be so cold, Katra? I could never abandon my little brother in his moment of need.
Little brother? We're just students under the same professor.
What do you mean, just? Here's what you get for being so mean. Come here.
Stop that, please!
Hey, Esmeralda, you're a bitch. I'm mean too. I tried. Hey! Man, think we can swap bodies for a sec, kiddos? Hey! Oh, the more people familiar with this place that we have to show us around, the better. What do you keep looking for?
Leave me alone.
Why? I love you. Bigger our group, the higher our chances of finding this intruder we're here for. That's true. I didn't see them directly, just to be clear. But Theo sensors detected an unregistered individual entering the building.
Oh.
So they didn't use that stupid card to get in there? It's also worth considering that the security system used here is too advanced for anyone to just be able to slip through it. I would consider that this could be Theo's sensors malfunctioning, but as it is a drone based on Zypha technology, I very much doubt it. The reading is correct, I am sure. Oh. Well, let's see what we can do. We might find ourselves stumbling on clues we couldn't find earlier today, if we're lucky. We're taking you two with us, but just be careful, okay? We'll be fine. We have Theo and Zeros with us, after all. Let's get to work. Engaging rough mode. Wouldn't kill us to be more tense here.
Oh, you're just
They just keep taking my best members and leaving me with the scraps.
They do. Man, now you're with Quarter Pounder.
And Fairy. Twinkle Toes over here. The Institute is so moody at this time of night. Oh, feeling scared? No, of course not. A Kruger warrior would never be afraid of something like ghosts. I didn't say anything about ghosts.
I didn't say no one said anything about ghosts.
I'm not remembering all the ghost stories I heard at school or anything. That would be silly. Alright, alright. Small quantity of residual shards detected. Shard makeup, ectoplasmic. Conclusion? Ghosts. Shards, you hear? Hey! Okay. Don't make me get up and stretch. So, someone used their Zypha here? Let's have a quick look around just in case.
That dining hall's a bit suspect.
Of course, you would think the dining hall is sus.
But first things first.
Additional residual shards detected.
These readings are a little denser than before.
Does that mean we're not alone?
Correct, it means ghosts.
Guess I wasn't imagining things.
Readings off the charts. Conclusion. Who you gonna call? The cafeteria is empty, huh? Whew, I can't sense anyone in here either. By the way, was that green-haired girl the only one left in the building when we got here, apart from our intruder? Not quite. Professor Cronkite already returned home for the day, so he won't be here. But there are also several security guards, along with Professor Callahan and his assistants. I tried calling out to them from the other side of the door, but they were too focused on their work to notice. No surprise there, I guess. Well, let's just put them out of our minds for the time being. Professor Hamilton's students sure are an eclectic bunch, huh? You included. I don't want to hear that from you. Still, I think that just goes to show how open-minded she is. She doesn't care about race, upbringing, or anything other than finding the good in everyone, then working together to bring it out. Everyone knows her as the mother of the Orbital Revolution, but even to this day, she's striving to develop technology to help those in need. On top of that, she's kind, considerate. I've never met anyone like her. She sounds amazing. She was one responsible for reviving and expanding Tarbad's Oasis too, wasn't she? I could really tell just how much you respect her. I could never not respect her. Hey.
Oh.
This feels like spooky time.
Spooky.
So the house we visited earlier today is where Mr. Silesian and Professor Hamilton live then. That's right, the professor took him in 9 years ago, and he's been living with her since. The two of them get along with me and Professor Cronkite, are like a family now. So that's why people call him her favorite. He left the country 2.5 years ago, however. That's right. He puts on a brave face, but he misses her so much. She's off trying to solve the problems in the East, so there's no telling when she's going to be back, or if she's even still alive. The story about closing down the observatory seemed to come about because of me and Professor Cronkite, too. But he never confided in us. Instead, he tried to fix the problem all on his own. And Professor Cronkite's really busy at the moment, so he can't be around very much. I just wish I could pick up the slack and support Quattro like a real big sister should. Kiddo's got a pattern, huh? He was trying to sort out that problem down in the mine alone, too. But he's at the kind of age when kids want to act older than they are. Better just leave him be, if you ask me. Perhaps you're right. But being there for one another is what families do. I'm a little envious, to be honest. I have no family. Huh? Hmm? Did you find something, Zaros? Guess you'd better give it a look. We sure didn't find anything downstairs, though, so I'm not getting my hopes up. I agree. Let's see if we can find anything.